find yourself going, I don't want to.
You ready to go?
Just figure out the opposite of that.
You're right.
I hate that. Some people will literally put a rubber band in and kind of box themselves and snap. I don't know. I probably end up wearing my overall there, so. But you develop affirmations. I mean, affirmations are great. Just, I always say don't be delusional about it. You know, Jamal Charles is here last week. I can affirm I am small butt in a race. I can whoop his butt in a race. I can But if you align your affirmations with your goals and your values, it's very, very, very powerful. You want to really supercharge it? Say your affirmations. That will be powerful. Now, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm powerful, I'm strong, all these, this is great. And look at yourself in the mirror. I want to give a few words about I am and I'm happy. You were the ordained minister? The words I am are the secret of creation, the words of creation. And, affirmations are great. I am healthy, I am whatever I want to be, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I'm great. How many times do you hear, I am sick and tired? Blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. Don't do that because you're creating that. Okay? What did God tell Moses when he came down from the bush? Who did you send? I am. I mean, if this is what God calls us, I'm not going to do it. Right? So, be really careful with that. Now, I want to say, I want to give, there are three principles here that are so important. This leads to a huge part. But realize that in the universe, everything's perfect balance. There aren't positives and negatives. Balance. In everybody in the universe, there's balance. So, if we're thinking that there's something more positive than negative or more negative than positive, this is our perception. We're simply perceiving. Shakespeare did this. Shakespeare said there is nothing good or bad, thinking makes it so. So, the second thing to realize is that when we judge, remember this. We can only perceive in somebody else a part of our own selves that we have not learned about. So, the universe in balance means every crisis has a blessing. Anytime you have a blessing, there's a positive. Just a stronger more. Everybody who's pushing, or everybody that's pushing our buttons is giving us a chance to learn how to know ourselves. So there's a whole process on how we go about an action pretty much instantly after a lot of work. Instantly. I want to speak a little bit about emotions because we carry around positive and negative emotions. Positive emotions are constructive. They're integrative. Negative emotions are destructive. They're disintegrative to our being. And this may not feel the negative emotions of, fear, guilt, anger, worry, hate. And here's some positive emotions. And here's some beautiful thing about this. Positive emotions are more powerful than negative emotions. Faith wipes out fear and worry. Alright? Forgiveness trumps anger. Trumps hate. Guess what? Self-forgiveness trumps guilt. So, gratitude is the most powerful emotion of grace. Absolutely impossible to be in a state of gratitude and hold a negative emotion. So one of the most powerful things you can do is take the time, write out a gratitude, go through your life, everything you can think of that you're grateful for. Everything you have gratitude. Write it down, and add to that list. Add to that list, and come up with a list. And read it every day. Here's, you want to supercharge that one? Read it at night right before you go to bed, or at least part of it. Read it in the morning before you're already out of bed. How about that? We start out the day in a state of gratitude. So, lastly, obviously, not in my opinion, the least, I want to talk about silence. First off, that's chiropractor. throw in a few things about what chiropractic is. We have a tendency to think that chiropractic is about back pain and neck pain and pain in our arms, headaches, pain in the legs, and so on. And you know, this is not a bad thing that I'm saying, because we are very good at what we're doing. And it's a heck of a fine service. If somebody's suffering from these things, is suffering from these things, they're not living a good life. But I'm saying it's the tip of the iceberg. And the reason for that is because if you have a problem with your spine, you have a health problem, or you have a potential health problem, or a health problem, why? Because the connection between the spine and the nervous system. And as Grey's Anatomy, the book Grey's Anatomy, not the film, Grey's Anatomy states the nervous system is the master system that controls and coordinates all other systems. And the master controller is the brain. The brain is going to control the muscles of the foot, the intestines, the heart, the lungs, anything that must communicate. And the way it communicates is it's sitting on top and it sends its messages. Sends its messages down through the spinal cord, and this goes out to all of these nerves. And these nerves go to literally every cell of the body, which make up every muscle, organ, blood vessel, and gland we have. So you got the brain sending messages down. There's no interference anywhere. All of the parts of the body are getting the proper messages from the brain. They're functioning at optimal levels and in harmony. And healthy, living darn good. However, the weak spot is that the nerves actually emerge from holes that are formed between two vertebrae. And when these vertebrae get twisted or turned, it diminishes the hole, and it can end up pinching off or irritating the nerve. Now the brain sends a message, and the message is altered at the level of the spine. It's sped up if it's irritated, and you slow down or stop if it's pinched off. All of the muscles, the organs, and blood vessels, and glands that depend on that nerve now are not going to function correctly. They're going to be functioning out of harmony with the rest of the body. And now we're losing them. So, chiropractically, yes, we help people a lot with their pains and aches and pains, and that's a beautiful thing. But when we're correct, we're really correcting the spine, getting the bone off of the nerve, getting the brain back in control of all the parts of its body so we can live our lives with optimal health and wellness. And the reason I say that out of the 5 disciplines, it is the most important is because if your brain is in total control of your body, if there's no interference anywhere, you can momentarily slide on the other 4, and your body's still going to be able to adapt and function. I say momentarily, because if you slide on the 4, you can probably vertebrae off. But anyway, momentarily you can get by with this. But if your brain is not, if the nervous system is being interfered with and your brain is not able to communicate with its body, you can do everything else perfectly, you're not going to get the full benefit of this. So, what I do have, okay, so obviously I advise you to chiropractic. I also have a few things that you can do at home. I'm going to share here. One of the major things about our posture that we tend to lose, face it, what is the major thing we do in our lives? Intense. Exactly. So we've got to, we literally turn our curves the wrong way. So something you can do once you get your posture back straight, your postural exercise, is start out, thumbs out. You want to scrunch your scapula in. These are your scapula. Scrunch them in and turn. Do this. I'm going to keep your head, your ears over your shoulder. This way and this way. Then take your hand. You want to do this about 40 times, I'm sorry. You want to take your hand, press it forward. Press it forward. 12 to 15 times like that. You want to just put that neck curve back in there. And then, if you're sitting, keep your, this is all about keeping your curve of your back. Put one leg up like that, curve of your back, and press down. This sets the receptors to recept the curve of your back. You do it both ways. Keep the leg straight, press down, keep your back straight. So, Some other exercises. And by the way, especially with this one, if you don't get sore after you've done this, one of two things. Either your posture is perfect or you did it wrong. Most of us don't have perfect posture. You're probably doing it wrong if you're not sore. All right? You can take a towel. You can take your hand and do this, but some people with shoulders and whatnot, you can take a towel, roll it up, put it around your neck, keep your hands equidistant, and pull like that, and bring your head back. Just make sure you're pulling equally with both hands. And that's just going to help keep that neck curve back. So finally, also for the mid-back, you can stretch it during the day. Stretch your arms back, turn them back, and then over your head. Or if you've done your yoga class, you can even do that. But you just want to get it. That's going to stretch out this entire area here. You just want to get it stretched out. Finally, for most people this is okay. Somebody's really got a back problem, don't do this one. But have your legs, your feet, shoulder width, hands back like this. Now you want to put your weight forward, bend your knees, come back like that. Now when you come back, take a breath in, straighten, and then blow it out. If you've really had a stressful day, you're going to find yourself doing this. It's a good thing. That's energy releasing, literally. And when you finish, you do that 5 times, 10 times, however many. And generally, when you finish, you'll just literally feel like you're doing something. So those you can do, those are things that you can do at your home to keep your spine going. So I just want to finish. I think I'm a little quicker this time than I did last time, but I want to finish this. My personal mentor is a guy named John DiMartini. He's travels the world. He's gotten more expensive than I want to do. But he came up with this, and it just kind of says it all in a sentence. Slow down the physical aging process by constantly stretching your joints, breathe deeply, eat wisely and moderately, drink plenty of water, keep moving, take daily actions that are inspiring, serve others, and plan your life the way you would love it to be. You will add years to your life and life to your years. And keep maintaining your body will function much more smoothly than you do. Thank you.
Good job.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Great to be with you guys.
All right.
After a workout, I still have 2 workouts. I hope I have to breath.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, just again briefly, because I did introduce myself earlier. I'm Dr. Marc Fulkerson. I'm practicing right now in chiropractic. I had my practice for 19 years in La Rochelle, France. And as I stated earlier, I give the adjustments and turning on the light, but I also wanted to help teach people how to live your life between offices. Because I want people to be able to function at their optimal levels. I want them to be able to be resisting to sickness. If you do get sick, you get well quicker. But I also want you to be able to perform, and this is we're here at the gym, I want you to be able to perform at the optimal levels you possibly perform. So obviously I'd like to speak tonight about our most prized possession, and that's our health. So when we talk about this, we're going to talk about 5 areas of a healthy lifestyle. It's a part of an 8-hour course. So it's going to be abbreviated tonight, but I want to give you some strategies in each of the areas, and I'm hoping that everybody will be able to take at least a couple of things home that you can use to be healthier in some area of your life. Because 5 areas, it's difficult to be able to integrate all 5 of them, and that's what this is about. So 5 areas are health and nutrition. We got exercise. Now, that's what I'll be speaking less about tonight for one reason. Not because it's not as important, because you guys got experts here to talk about this. This is a great place to come, and apparently to get good nutritional information as well. But I'll be talking about sleep and rest. I'll be talking about mental and emotional health, and then what I find is primordial, spinal health, having your spine in alignment, keeping your nervous system functioning at optimal levels. So then we ask the question, why are we going to go through why would we do this? We're here at whatever time it is at night. Why are we going to go through the disciplines to be healthy? Why would we do this? Well, one, if you're here, you want to perform at peak levels. But two, we can feel better, we live better, we live more vibrant lives, we're more resistant to sickness. And if we do get sickness, our bodies, when we're healthy, can get over it quickly. It increases our self-worth to take care of ourselves. We're worth it, right? All right? And then financial, as I say, if you think it's expensive to get healthy, try getting sick. And I firmly believe that as a society, if we would apply ourselves to these 5 areas of health, practicing these 5 areas of health, I don't think it would matter if it was the government or insurance companies or who it would be. Care would be more affordable because we would be less sick. We would be able to get out of our sicknesses easier. So, and a recent research article, I've said this for years, a recent research article bore out what I was saying. And if we would simply do one little part of one area of health, supplement with a multivitamin, quality multivitamin, multimineral, omega-3 fatty acid, we could save between $11 and $13 billion every year. Just those 2 little things. So imagine what if we applied all 5 areas of our health, how much we could knock off of this other bill. So, but our problem is that we're attacking the problem from the wrong level. We're attacking our problem with how we're going to pay for this system. We're not attacking the problem with what is the system that we're paying for. It's the delivery system. It's how we're living our lifestyle, and we're essentially living under a sickness model right now. And we have, at least most of my life. And by that, I mean we don't really pay attention to our health habits. We don't have that problem here, but we're not paying attention to the 5 areas of health. We go out and get sick. We go to a doctor, and we want the doctor to give us something, and we take something, so we can feel like we felt before we got sick. This isn't optimal. This isn't functioning at the optimal levels that we should be functioning at. So I say the sickness model is reactive. Now there's a wellness model that is proactive. This is applying the discipline on a regular basis and be able to resist sickness, get better quicker, and be able, as I said, to perform at optimal levels. So, but I did get this question, Doctor. If all we do is disciplines, what fun is life? Well, number one, disciplines can be fun. If we called them maybe health cookies or health mojitos, then people would flock to them instead of calling them health disciplines. But here's the thing, the good part of it. If we apply daily, a regular basis, if we apply our health disciplines, if we apply the 5 areas of our healthy lifestyle, it's like building a bank account. You're doing healthy things for your life, and you're building what I call it adaptational reserve. And I'm trying not to get too technical on things, but if you're building a bank account, you're doing the good things, and it's like putting money in the bank. It's like putting deposits in the bank. We do the unhealthy things, and it's like withdrawing from the bank. Well, if we are regularly doing the things that put into our adaptational reserve, you can blow one out. You can have a Thanksgiving. You can have a New Year's. You can do it from time to time. And you'll get a little bit of a withdrawal, but you got enough reserve. And then we're going to keep putting it back anyway. So you don't have to, live a monk lifestyle and not do anything. But by being healthy means that you don't necessarily get sick. And if we're regularly making deposits, you have a big account, something comes along, a virus or whatnot, and you hardly get, it may not touch you at all. The person who's been depleting their account and they've been heading for disaster for a long time, they get hit with exactly the same thing. You get hit and they're devastated because they have been already depleting this reserve. So, like ignoring the health disciplines, habitually unhealthy behaviors, we're just simply leading ourselves down the road of disaster. So, unfortunately, that is how most of us are living our lives. Maybe not here, but so it is my mission to teach and to motivate people to build the biggest reserve account possible so they can live a healthy lifestyle. From what I've heard tonight, that's right in tune with what you guys are doing. So I was really glad to hear. I told him, by the way, you know, when I first looked on the website, I thought, oh God, maybe they're teaching MMA here. Maybe this message isn't going to resonate. But, you know, it did resonate when I came and talked last week. And what I heard tonight, I realized it resonates precisely. So I was happy with that. So let's get started with nutrition out of the 5. This is so huge. But like I said, I do recommend that we take at least a minimum of supplementation. You know, at least a multivitamin, mineral, and I mean this is like the very minimum, and get you an omega-3 fatty acid, an omega-3, you know, and get it nutritionally. So take, you know, you can take krill oil, you can take fish oil, chia seeds. Flax is good for some people, but it's not good for everybody. So most people here are fit, so it's going to be good for you. Somebody who's not really fit, it's not going to be that good for you. So. In our society, we need to have vitamin D with vitamin K2 in it as well. Not many people know about the K2 component. I do sell USANA vitamins. They happen to have it built in there. I learned about this in 2008. I was the only person talking about it. I found out USANA was doing it since they started in the 90s. But when you take vitamin D3, concerning the calcium, what it does is it takes the calcium out of it helps you absorb the calcium. It absorbs into the bloodstream. Vitamin K2 takes the calcium out of the bloodstream and takes it to your bone and lays it down to be part of the bone structure. So you need to have the vitamin K2 as well. The one problem is it's in foods that we tend not to eat anymore. They tell us, you know, egg yolks. They tell us don't eat, you know, butter. Oh, grass-fed butter is great with vitamin K2. Some of the nastiest food on earth, natto, is full of vitamin K2. You know, I take supplements. Get all the antioxidants that you can get. You know, especially vitamin C and vitamin E. They're the most abundant available. There are some caveats of vitamin D or vitamin E. You want to make sure you get the right ones. But antioxidants neutralize the free radicals, which literally bounce around our cells, acting like a bull in a china closet, tearing up everything, making us older quicker, making us sicker quicker. You want to get those neutralized. Oxygen radicals, we call them. Those are the free radicals. It's exactly what happens when you leave something out in the yard and it rusts. That's precisely what happens. So oxyradicals are like literally building rust inside our bodies, inside our cells. And we all know what it's like to ride a bicycle with a rusty chain as opposed to with a well-oiled chain. It's much easier. So here's something that every single reaction, everything we do creates free radicals. So we need an abundance of antioxidants. When we work out, we have masses of free radicals afterwards. So you do need to supplement. You need to have your shakes. You need to put antioxidants back in your body as well as proteins and everything. So, but here's the good news: if you live a healthy lifestyle, if you eat healthy, if you supplement right, there are abundant. They're so abundant. So, here's one secret as to how to get them antioxidants into your body easily. Even digesting food creates free radicals. Now, if you look at what they call the highest ORAC scores, and I think this will probably be as technical as I get, it's the foods that absorb the most free radicals. The highest foods, 11 out of 13 of them are spices. So use spices, because your body more absorbs spices, and herbs for that matter, than digests them. So it's very little digestion and a lot of antioxidant power. So yeah, your cinnamon, your turmeric. Anybody who's interested, cloves are the #1 ORAC food there is. So I do teach some strategies. I teach several strategies for eating. Here's one for optimal health. Try to eat smaller quantities of higher quality food, because the higher quality foods are going to get you the nutrition with less amounts. If we're going out and we're buying beef from steers and whatnot that have been fed hay, you're going to get omega-6 fatty acids. If you get them from grass-fed, you're going to get omega-3 fatty acids. So salmon, you go and don't buy farm-raised salmon. Wow, just don't. They're feeding them omega-6 fatty acids, so they're taking a perfect omega-3 food and they turn it into an omega-6 food. You know, if you look at it and it says that they have this dye so that it'll have the right color, why do you need to dye something to have the right color? So you know, you want to have, and yeah, wild caught fish is expensive, but it's got so much more nutrients. You will get more nutrients in your body by eating less of it. And so in all, you're probably spending not much more money or less money getting a heck of a lot better nutrition. So with that, like I just said, proteins you want to do, you want to favor. This is a small list. You know, your grass-fed beef, your lamb, free-range poultry and eggs, and wild-caught fish. Carbs. You want to eat mostly fruit, vegetables, and some fruits. If you're working out more, you can afford more fruits. If you're working out less, you probably want to minimize the fruits, but you want to get the nutrition from them. Just don't have too much physical sugar. But you generally want dark green leafy vegetables. You want to favor your crucifers, your cabbage-based vegetables, cabbage, your broccoli, your cauliflower, your kale, your bok choy, and whatnot. And one thing for people interested in bodybuilding, one thing that does over and above just all the other health benefits is that it clears out your bad estrogens. It frees up your receptors for the testosterone to attach where it's supposed to. So and they're generally inexpensive. So anybody interested in bodybuilding wants to be able to take as much of that as they can. Healthy fats, of course, olive oil, your omega-3 fats, your coconut oil, your nuts, butter from grass-fed cows. You know, all the problems that they say that comes from your butter is coming from cows that are not grass-fed. So you want to get, and also as you're working out, you want to get a maximum healthy fat consumption because it'll teach your body to burn fat for fuel instead of glucose. And you essentially you will perform better if you're functioning more on fats. So I know that's unorthodox, but it's well documented. All right, so here is an easy way to increase nutrient absorption. Really easy. Use pepper. Pepper has piperine, which increases the absorption of nutrients. We talked about this last time. I also use this old Ayurvedic, not even herb substance called shilajit. Pepper's a lot easier to get. So. All right, here are the 4 foods that I try to get in my body every day. And there's just too many reasons to tell why in here, but they're just whole body good for you. Garlic. So many benefits for the entire body. Onion, same thing. Guys, onions are also very good for the prostate. And if you're young, you don't think you have to worry about it. One day you'll be old. Start now. All right. Ginger. This helps in so many ways, but it's a very powerful anti-inflammatory. You want to get ginger into your body. And turmeric. Turmeric is it's just amazing. Very strong whole body anti-inflammatory. Also, it's been shown in research to interrupt all 5 phases of cancer development and dissolve the plaques that create Alzheimer's disease. So you just really want to get turmeric into your body. Finally, the more I study, I'm coming to think the first best thing you can do for your health, in my opinion, is to have a healthy spine. Second is probiotics. The more I study this, the more I'm looking at it, the more absolutely profound that having a probiotic is. All right. So to realize this, here's a fact you got to know about. A lot of people aren't going to like what I say, but it's the truth. So you have over 10 times the amount of cells in your body that are not your DNA than you have that are your DNA. And these cells reside in your testes. In other words, you got 10 times more cells in you that are not you than you have that are you. And they're living there, and they're either your friends or your enemies. And they're either working synergistically with you, they're helping you absorb your nutrients, or they're parasitic. And you just want to do everything you can. They live in our intestines, most of them. This is the bacterial flora. I just saw it on a headline today, so I shouldn't even bring this up. I learned that Candida albicans lives in your body after you die.
What's that?
It's a yeast. It's a parasitic yeast, Candida. But they live in the intestine. I won't say more than that because I haven't read the article yet. I just read the headline. I didn't have time to read the article. So these bacteria, either our friends or our enemies, and it is just imperatively that we continually give our bodies our friends and feed them healthy foods. Because the foods that we eat are feeding the bacteria that are in our intestines. And if we're giving them unhealthy foods, we're creating unhealthy bacteria. We're favoring the unhealthy bacteria. If we're eating healthy foods, we're favoring the healthy bacteria. And I believe that a lot of cravings are because they chemically talk with the brain. And if you have so many more unhealthy than healthy ones, they're going to be telling the brain to go eat potato chips instead of kale, you know? Don't get me started on that. All right. So do take a quality probiotic supplement, but also go online, take the time, find out fermented foods, and try to get them. Some of them I could name here. There's sauerkraut, kimchi, tempeh, miso, kefir, yogurt, stinky cheeses. You know, there's a yuck factor to some of these, but almost there's enough of them that somebody's going to find something they like. Find the ones you like and eat them regularly. You know, if you ever see how the Koreans eat kimchi, they eat them almost before every meal. They eat just a little bit of it. They're getting their probiotics in before their meal. I make sauerkraut, and we'll eat a little bit of sauerkraut before meals. Got time to do it. This is my wife and my daughter, by the way.
Okay.
That's why I looked over at it. So to have a functioning, healthy body, you've got to maximize the intestinal flora. You just have to. All right? Exercise, again, I'll be brief here only because you got access to absolute expert coaching on this. But, you know, somebody doesn't want to come to the gym, but says they want to get healthy, get them at least to do this. Get them walk a minimum of 30 minutes a day, 3 or 4 times a week. You know, do regular lunges, you know, back-friendly sit-ups. We're just doing those. Get them to do push-ups and a few burpees. You know, get them to do burpees regularly. That's just like a kind of a whole body thing. So, yeah, you know, 3 to 4 times a week. This is minimal stuff here, but even if you just do that, we're going to change the entire society, if you wish. So we do need strength. We need cardiovascular. We need endurance. I like, until I blew out my knee, I like doing intervals. I told Adrian about that. So you got to have stretching, and you want to do energy exercises. You know, I do Qigong. Tai Chi is a great energy exercise. It's easier to get instruction to than Qigong. But you know, you want to. I learned tonight you guys do some Tai Chi here. So you guys teach some Tai Chi. Yeah, take advantage of that. You really got to have it. You want to have that energy flowing through your body. So here is the one that's going to make everybody groan now. Rest and sleep. This is so important, gang. Yep. We need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. Period. That's just, people don't like to hear it, but you know, not only the benefits are more clear, more energy, and looking and feeling better, better immune function, but look, we're spending the day breaking down our bodies. When we sleep, our body repairs. If we're breaking down our bodies and not repairing them, we're going to break down. That's just that. And something I learned very recently, just a day or so before I came out here Saturday. During sleep, we produce melatonin and prolactin, okay? We do that. One of the many functions of these 2 hormones is to clear pathogenic bacteria out of the intestines. What did I just say about the probiotics, your friends and your enemies? These clear melatonin and prolactin clear your enemies out of your body. It takes 8 hours to do that. So if we're not doing this, and there is a correlation, there's a direct correlation between lack of sleep and obesity. And I fully believe this is why. As a matter of fact, they have figured people that sleep 6 hours a night are 23% more likely to be obese. 7 to 9 hours, 5 hours, you're 50% more likely to be obese. And if you're doing 4 hours or less, you're 73% more likely to be obese. And I fully believe it's coming from what I just said. We're not clearing out the bacteria. You don't have time to clear out the unhealthy bacteria. So, all right, we need regular rest every day. You know, not just the sleep you have at night. You got to sit down and rest. Meditation, you know, taking naps for 20 minutes or meditate for 20 minutes. And we all need some quiet time. Almost every day, if not every day. And it doesn't have to be a whole lot of time, but you gotta settle down. I'm like, can't talk too much about brainwaves because I'll get going on that one. You gotta settle your brainwaves down. So, take the time to rest because your body needs it. So, to sleep, you want a firm, supporting mattress, but you don't want it to be hard. Because most of us, there are going to be exceptions, but most of us, the best way to sleep is on your side with with a pillow so that your head is only slightly towards the bed. That way, if in the night you put your head like that, your head will still be straight. You want to have your legs pulled up kind of in the fetal position. The bottom leg against the mattress, you want that a little bit higher than the top leg. Just keep your spine straight while you sleep. So the worst thing to do is, this is the second, to have a small pillow. The worst thing is the 3 pillows. People just love it. People come in and they keep having these neck problems. It's like, well, Doc, what am I doing? I said, how many pillows you got? Oh, man, I got those 3 pillows. Take them out. All right? So that's how most people. Now, here's some tips of getting to sleep. Keep your bedroom between 60 and 70 degrees. If you're going to err on the cooler side. If you're too hot, your body won't release melatonin. I'm going to talk about that in a second. To release melatonin and induce sleep, don't give me just a second. You can take a bath, a hot bath, 2 hours before you go to bed. Why is this? Because when you sleep, your body cools. When your body cools, that stimulates the release of melatonin, and melatonin is called the sleep hormone. Melatonin does so much. But by taking a hot bath, you then induce the cooling. And the hotter the better, you induce the cooling of the body earlier so that your body will then start releasing the melatonin and make you sleepier quicker. Tart cherry juice will also release melatonin. As well as if you know anybody with gout, keep tart cherry juice around the house. Just a thing. If you hit it right at the time that they've got if they're having an attack, it'll reduce it. Yeah. You can also exercise 4 hours before, because that gives you'll have the cooling effect, but then you need the other extra time to get rid of the extra adrenaline and cortisol and everything that you build up through the exercise. So, sleep in a dark bedroom. It's so critical. I had a girl who was working for me one time, and I noticed at Sandra, I said, Sandra, you're starting to come in now. You're sleepy. I can tell you're not getting good sleep. She goes, I know it. I'm so tired. And but I'm going to bed at the same time. And I said, well, let me be more blunt. I noticed that you're getting tired since your boyfriend lost his job. And she goes, yeah? And she said, but I'm sleeping. And I said, well, what's he doing? Well, he's in the bedroom, he's watching TV, playing his games and stuff like that. I said, well, Sandra, you're getting the sleep, but you're not stimulating melatonin because light will shut off the stimulation of melatonin. So, she didn't want to do this, but I had her get some, the eye covers, and she started sleeping well again. And then you got another job, so it didn't matter. So. You can use magnesium at night. My favorite is Calm. It's powder, magnesium. You can put it in, drink it, and you can dose it to whatever level you need. Simply when your stool starts loosening, you know that you just went higher than you need. You just cut it back to where you were before. It has instructions on how to use it. Great way. We all need more magnesium anyway. We're just leaching it out of our bodies. So in Calm herbal teas, there's so many of them. Chamomile's a really good one. One problem there is a lot of people go, well, I go to the bathroom and it wakes me up. So, but if that's not a problem for you, herbal teas before going to sleep is great. So, I'm going to talk about some emotions here. We just did some work on breathing, which was really cool because we can control our emotions through breathing. If you find somebody you're anxious, you find yourself getting anxious and what does somebody do when they are depressed? Have you ever seen anybody breathe when they're depressed? Right? We've all seen people do that. So if you're getting anxious, you can then take a short breath in, long breath out, look down to the left. And you do this a few times until you feel yourself, the anxiety starting to go away. Then always end that with regular breathing, or breathing of the same level, like breathe in 4, breathe in 5, whatever, breathe out 5. This is a great way to get centered. So you always want to center yourself after you've brought yourself back to level. Likewise, if you're depressed, take a long breath in, short breath out, look up to the right. Do that several times. You can literally feel your depressive levels dropping. You can feel your energy level coming up, and then center yourself. So I talk about meditation. There's so many different ways to do meditation. I believe you probably have some good meditation here. But if you just want to do something simple, do what I just said. Just sit and concentrate. Breathe in, count to 5. Breathe out, count to 5. Breathe in, count to 5. Breathe out, count to 5. You do that for 20 minutes. You get thoughts floating through your head, just let them go.